Hello, this is Dar with the Healy Technology Report, and today we're going to configure the NanoBeam, the Ubiquiti NanoBeam M5. Now this is part of a series. You can find out more about our other videos on our YouTube channel or on our blog at www.businessphonesonline.ca. So the first thing we've done is we've plugged in our NanoBeam M5, and you can see here it's showing up on the list at 192.168.1.20, and that's of course the default IP address of all Ubiquiti equipment when they first come on. So we're going to have to change that. And we're going to put it on the same network as our Rocket M5 here. And Rocket's on 10.50.50.100. We're going to put the NanoBeam on at .101. So this here is our login. You can see we're on 192.168.1.20. And I'm going to type in the default username, which is UBNT. Password by default UBNT. Select my country is Canada. Now what this does is it restricts the available frequencies that the devices operate in to conform to the legal requirements of the country. So in this case, we're restricted to the frequencies that are allowed to be used within Canada. Okay, so here we are. It's a good idea to upgrade your firmware to the latest version. We're not going to go through that. Now your device name, this is important to set so you can keep track of all your devices. In this case, I'm going to say main building. And so the way we're setting this up is with a Rocket and an Omni antenna that operates as a hub, and then each one of these NanoBeams are going to operate as spokes to that hub and provide a common network. So each building that we would install, we'd put one of these NanoBeams on it. Now we're going to change the time zone to Mountain Standard, and this is for logs, so that when we look at our logs, it tells us exactly which allows the logs to appear in the time zone that we need them to. Okay, so we're not going to hit apply quite yet because that's going to cause the device to reboot and slow us down a little bit. Ping Watchdog, this is pretty important. I always put in the IP address of the Rocket with the Omni antenna. That way, if it loses connection, that it's going to try a couple times. If it can't get back, in this case 300 seconds, and if it fails to reboot 3 times, then it's going to reboot and re-attempt the connection. I'll be right back. Okay, back. So that's the reboot. SSH server, normally we don't have this enabled. SNMP is something we do, I usually enable, but you need to have management tools like Spiceworks, like LabTech to allow that. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Ndb Client, this is a good idea. This is going to ensure that your time setting on the units, particularly important for any of your certificates, because the time needs to be accurate for certificates to work properly in encryption. Okay, that's about it for this page, so we'll hit change. Back to advanced. Okay, everything looks good here. The distance is important. It's on 0.6. This does not have to do with the signal strength, but about the timing of the packet. So this has to be fairly accurate, and we've got on auto adjust at the moment. Okay, next we have our network, and it's in bridge mode. This is all good. This is where we're saying IP address. So we're going to set to 10.50.50. That's right, 10.50.50.101. Our net mask from our previous video is 255.255.252.0, and our default gateway is, again from our last video, 10.50.48.1. Okay, and you can see that from our calculator here. That's the IP, the default gateway they're going to use. Again, we typically have a DNS relay on our router, and so we're going to use the same one for that, and we'll choose apply. And then we'll have a look at our next one here. Okay, so the SSID, this is in station mode, which is good. The other option is access point mode, which we only have one access point on our network, and that's going to be our hub. And channel width, we know it's 20 megahertz, so we're going to leave it at that. And output power, you know, this should be at the minimum. If you have too many antennas operating all at the same power, it can actually cause extra noise and interference and slow down your overall network overall. So it's something good to play with, but maximum power is not always the best option here. Now for our SSID, I'm going to choose select, and you'll see that there's a colony network here as well called hub. Now that's the one we're going to connect to. So we're going to choose select, and good. We need to type in a password for this. And we're going to accept those changes as well. And then the last thing for us to do is to finally apply the changes, and this is going to cause the device to reboot, so I'm going to pause the video as well. Okay, so username UBNT. I'm not sure we changed the password on this device. So if we haven't, we're going to go in and do that very quickly. Okay, so it looks like we didn't change the password. What we need to do is go to the System tab and choose here administrator username. We click on this little icon to the right. Current password, again UBNT, and then our new password. Okay, now I'm going to have to choose apply here to set the new password, and I'm not going to do that quite yet. So what you'll see here is we have a signal strength, which is very good. We have the access point MAC, which means there's a connection, a very strong connection here, minus 20 dB. So that's a very strong connection. AirMax is also enabled, and we've got a transmit stat here of 99.1. So this is a very strong connection. We can go through here and choose a speed test. And we'll choose our destination as our rocket, and let's run the test and see what happens. Okay, username, so that's UBNT, and let's see. Let's try our old credentials. I may not have applied the credentials. Okay, I'm going to pause this for a moment and we'll be back when the results show up. Okay, there's our results. So we're getting about 45, 46 megs per second, which is really, really good. Okay, this is Dar from the Healy Technology Report. To find out more about this device, you can find it on our web store at www.buyphonesonline.ca. Also at our blog at www.businessphonescalgary. Thanks.